Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're going to attempt to decode the autofocus system from Panasonic. I've been using Panasonic cameras for years, and while their autofocus isn't perfect, it's definitely improved with different firmware versions over the years. This video will relate to the Panasonic GH5 II, and it will also be relevant to the GH5 and GH5S, although this camera does have some different features. If you also own a Panasonic S5, consider this a tutorial for this camera as well. This video will also cover some additional information on when the autofocus will most likely fail, when it will work at its best, as well as which lenses you should choose for the best autofocus performance. To access the autofocus modes, you just have to push this little button up here, and it will bring up the autofocus options. Now on screen here you can see we get human, detect, AF, tracking, 225 area, zone, 1 area plus, 1 area, and this last one is grayed out. Now human detection autofocus can work, and it does work depending on your situation. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Tracking, forget about it. I never use it. I don't think it's very reliable whatsoever. 225 area is another one you can add to the recycling bin. Zone oval also doesn't work very reliably at all. I've tried all of these extensively, and I would just give all three of these an absolute miss. The ones that you want is 1 area plus mode and 1 area mode. Now if you're on a GH5S or an original GH5 or any of the older Panasonic cameras, the best option for you would be 1 area mode. I'm going to show you how to get the most out of this. So once this 1 area mode is selected, you can then touch on the screen and move this box wherever you like. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can also use the joystick on the back of the camera here, and you can resize the box using this wheel up here or the one on the top of the camera. So it's up to you how you want to move it. Now this mode is the most reliable for any type of shooting, especially on an older GH camera like a GH5 or GH5S. This mode is the one that I would use all of the time on those cameras. So if that's all you want to know, then you can do that. I'm going to talk about the speed and sensitivity in just a moment. But on the GH5 II and also on the S5, I really love this 1 area plus mode. Now this looks very, very similar to 1 area mode. You get a box, but you also get a slightly wider box around it. Now if we take a look back on screen at this option here, if we push the up button, it will give us human detection and human/animal detect. Now it's up to you if you want to use animal detection or not, but you can leave it set to 1 area plus human detection. This is my preferred mode, and the reason why is the box sets it up very similar to a 1 area mode, but you get a little bit of extra width thanks to that secondary box that's around it. So if you're standing anywhere near or inside of that frame, the autofocus will find you, and you'll see a body detection also come up on screen. And that can be really handy just for your own peace of mind. It knows that this is what's happening inside of that box. Again, if you choose to, you can resize this box by using the same control wheels that I showed you before, just by using these on the camera here. You can either move it around with your thumb, or you can move it around with your finger. And if you're behind the camera shooting someone else, this is a really great mode. I mean, you can just simply use the screen and the touch functionality to set up the autofocus point, and it will work without any problems. When it comes to face detection mode, this can also work, but it's very heavily dependent on which lens you're using and how fast that lens is. I'll talk more about that in just a moment as well. But basically, to get into face detection, you can go over here, and you can also turn on animal detect on by pushing up if you so choose. But I'm just going to leave it set right now to face detection. Now the great thing about face detection, when it finds a face, and this is something I got off Luca Bona Studios, which is a great YouTube channel, go check him out. Basically, if you've got somebody's face in the frame, I've got my lens cap on right now, once it finds the face, you'll see a yellow box pop up. Push the joystick in or tap on the box on screen, and that helps lock it onto that particular person. It works way better that way, at least in my experience. As I mentioned before, the autofocus performance depends heavily on the lens, and in face detection mode, even more so. There's ways you can kind of tweak the system, and I'll show you that in just a moment, but from my test, the 12 to 35mm f2.8 performed better with face detection in all modes over the 12 to 60 kit lens. With exactly the same settings, you would assume it wouldn't make much of a difference, but it does. So it's just one of those things you've kind of got to get used to the way that the autofocus system works and kind of tweak it to respond with each of the lenses. Let's dive into the menu a little bit more here. From the video mode on the left, we go down to the fourth tab, which is focus, and across to AF setting video, and it's currently set to off. Now, if we go down to set here, we can change the sensitivity and speed. If you plan on shooting a shot like this, you want it as locked on as possible. I even use this when I'm outside in the field, just standing in front of the lens talking to the camera. This is by far the best mode. It may limit the speed of the autofocus, but it pulses far less, and the GH5 Mark II works better than prior versions when it comes to autofocus. Again, with certain lenses, it's a big improvement. Now, if we take a look at this, I would usually set this down to locked on at the expense of it not being as responsive. And then I also set the speed down to either -1 or -2. If you're just doing a standing headshot, that's what I recommend, or a seated one. These settings usually work pretty well no matter which lens you use. Now, when it comes to what type of autofocus to use, in a shot like this, without question, I'm using one area or one area plus mode. I'm gonna set the box right up about here, and then I'm good to go. If I'm filming someone else and I'm behind the camera, I'll have the AF sensitivity to -2. That helps eliminate some of the pulsing, and the AF speed set to 0. This will work in face detection, and it will also work in one area plus mode. Let's talk about some of the prime lenses for micro four thirds, because this is going to be a huge variable in terms of your settings. Unfortunately, it's the sad reality of it, which is why now I pretty much just use this 12-35, because I can set it up and forget about it. So if you've got the 12mm f1.4, I had that for a long time, and the autofocus was usable but not fantastic. I would generally set that 12mm locked on all the way, and the AF speed down to -1 or -2, depending on what I needed to do. If I was shooting someone else, again, I would have it at about 0, or I would just use manual focus. When it came to the 15mm f1.7 prime, my settings were as locked on as possible, all the way down to -3, and the AF speed set to -1. The autofocus system in the GH5 Mark II is very similar in theory to the S5, but what I found is the S5 autofocus system works better than the GH5 Mark II with the majority of lenses, and the reason why is the lens selection for the S5 is far newer. Now, credit to Panasonic, they've been releasing firmware updates for their lenses, which makes them perform better in lower frame rates. But another key tip is shoot in double the frame rate. So instead of shooting at 25 frames or 30, double it. Shoot at 50 or 60, and the autofocus performance is going to be a whole lot more snappy. You can also get more success by turning up the shutter speed, which isn't always ideal. You get a kind of choppy look, but that will help the autofocus performance. Let's talk about some of the challenging situations for the Panasonic GH5 Mark II, one of which is if you're heavily backlit. So if the sun's behind you blasting this way, it's going to have a hard time no matter which mode you choose. It may be better in one area mode than face detection in that type of situation, but generally most cameras struggle. Secondly, if someone you're filming is just wearing a plain black t-shirt, you've got the one area box over that black t-shirt, being that this is contrast detection autofocus, sometimes it doesn't know what to focus on. The same can be said if you point a camera against a white wall. It doesn't have anything else to focus on, so it doesn't know what to do. For owners of an S5, the autofocus modes are identical as what I just spoke about before, but one of the good things about the S5 is, especially if you're going to be shooting with the 20-60mm kit lens, is that you don't need to adjust any of the settings unless you really feel the need. You can lock it off more for more static subjects, but the great news about this lens is it just works, and I've shot so many videos outdoors with no custom settings using this 20-60mm kit lens. My favorite kit lens of all systems. When I shoot with the prime lenses on the S5, I generally turn the speed up to +2 and the sensitivity down to -1 or -2. It just really depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I won't even adjust the speed at all. I'll leave it at 0, but have it more locked on for static shots. Even if I'm outdoors shooting with the 85mm, it works pretty reliably. If you've recently just purchased the GH5 Mark II or the S5 and you've had other Panasonic cameras and you're wondering about touch to focus, I'll give you a rundown of how this is supposed to work. So you can see that this lens cap is out of focus right now. If I go over to this view, you used to be able to just tap on the screen, let go, and it would focus on the lens cap, except now it doesn't work. It doesn't matter where I move this box, she ain't gonna focus, right? So this is something I hope Panasonic bring back. To get this to work now, all you have to do is hit the AF on button and it snaps on wherever that box is. So if I was to move this over here, I would move the box over, and then I have to hit the AF on button. This is 2 steps instead of 1. I really hope Panasonic can bring this back if it's not just relating to the touchscreen. I watched one of their live streams where everybody was asking about this, and they said, oh, there's no right or wrong. We thought most people would use the joystick and then push on the AF on button. I don't think so. From what I've seen in the comment section, this feature needs to come back. It's far more practical doing one thing than doing 2 things. I hope this video has been helpful. I've been able to use this camera out in the field in a number of different situations, not only making videos for this YouTube channel, but also on my other channels, as well as putting the autofocus through its paces. If you want to find out more, I'll link up my review in the cards. Thanks again for watching. Let us know how you go with these settings. Thanks again. Catch you soon. See ya.